Welcome. So today we are going to be talking about whether or not Queen Elizabeth I, one of England's greatest queens, the Virgin Queen, Gloriana, whether or not she was actually a man. So the story goes that when Elizabeth was around 10 years old, plague came to London. So she was sent away to the village of Bisley to protect her from the plague. But while she was there, Elizabeth fell ill and died from a mysterious illness. So as luck would have it, at the same time that Elizabeth died, her father, Henry VIII, decided that he was going to come and visit her. Now, Elizabeth's nurse was worried about what King Henry was going to do to her if he found out that Elizabeth had died. So she decided to bury Elizabeth in secret and then go down to the village of Bisley to see if she can find a local girl that looked like Elizabeth to take her place. But the nurse couldn't find a girl that looked like Elizabeth, but she did manage to find a boy instead. So she took the boy home and dressed him up in Elizabeth's clothing. King Henry did not know that this boy was not his daughter, and so the boy ended up being Elizabeth for the rest of his life. Now, quite a few people did actually believe that Elizabeth was a man. I will tell you about one of the people who did believe this later. But the reason they believed that she was a man was things that were said and done in Elizabeth's time. These were that 1. Elizabeth never married even though she had plenty of offers. Was this because she was a man? 2. When she was in public, she always wore a wig. 3. She refused an autopsy to be done on her body after she died. 4. She only allowed a special selection of carefully selected and trusted doctors to treat her. 5. A nobleman once writ about her, for a certain reason that have recently given me, I understand that she will not bear children. And 6. Her tutor said that her work was basically better than it should have been, so he was basically saying that Elizabeth was too clever to be a woman. Now, one of these people that actually believed that Elizabeth was a man was Bram Stoker, the author of Dracula. He came across the story when he visited the village of Bisley. Apparently, a local cleric had found the coffin of a young girl in Tudor clothing, but had conveniently reburied it somewhere secret. And also on their May Day celebrations, their May Queen would be a boy dressed in Tudor girl's clothing. Now, Bram Stoker, he firmly believed in this story, and he actually wrote a whole chapter about it in his non-fiction book, Famous Imposters. Now, he actually believed that the boy Elizabeth was actually the son of one of King Henry's illegitimate sons. There are many counter-arguments as to why Elizabeth I was not a man. With the first reason why she never got married, you got to remember that her father was Henry VIII, who was infamous for having 6 wives. Elizabeth would have seen many stepmothers come and go, so maybe this put her off actually getting married. Also, any man that she married may have insisted on becoming king, and even though Elizabeth was the queen by right, the rank of king will still outstrip that of queen. So any man that she married, if they became king, would have more power than her. Also, her husband could try and usurp her from the throne and rule as king on his own, and being at a time where it was rather sexist and men were perceived to be better than women and more intelligent than women, then he might have easily been able to do this. Now, Elizabeth wore plenty of outfits that showed that she was a woman. There are actual reports from people who have visited the Tudor court that's saying that sometimes she will be there and she'll have like the front of her dress unbuttoned and exposing her breasts. Her laundress also reported that Elizabeth was actually having a period, and with her only wanting certain doctors to treat her, maybe she was just more comfortable with these ones. They probably have been treating her for most of her queenship. maybe even before she came queen, they were treating her. So they would have known all her intimate details and they would have known all her medical needs. And because they knew this, she probably trusted them not to go and tell everyone all this gossip about her. I personally feel that Queen Elizabeth I was definitely a woman, and all of this story is just sexist gossip said around in a time where women were seen as lesser than men and couldn't possibly hold positions of power. Anyway, what do you guys think? Do you reckon Elizabeth was a man or a woman? Let me know, and if you enjoyed this video, like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Bye.